to my channel, and today I have something that probably won't happen all that often. At least I'm trying not to let it happen all that often. I have kept an ink wish list for quite a few weeks now, and finally I cracked. So I basically looked over my very small collection and thought, I have a few gaps that could be addressed. And what I really needed were two pilot 40 converters for my Violet Cocoon. So basically I knew I needed to order those in from, and I wanted to order them from Cold Puns. And then I thought, well, as I'm already here, there are quite a few inks that are on the list, and most of those are diamine, so they're pretty accessible and affordable. So yes, let's just do it. I need the converters anyway, so yeah. So let's swatch all those out. To swatch, I'm using a pipette, a glass dipping pen, and then I will be using the bottle top of a diamine 30 milliliter bottle. Okay, let's get started. I want to start with the sort of the diamine standards, and the first one is going to be diamine grey. I have had Lady Grey for a few weeks now, and I'm loving it, but it's just a tiny bit too tiny bit too light. I haven't really thought about what to do the swatches, so we'll see. Maybe a bit like with the writing around them, so you can have lovely big swatches. And obviously I have some water and an ink rag here as well. And then like Danielle from my Dandelion Diaries, to sort of do some, I think someone does it as well, with some flowers. Okay, yeah, let's cram them all in. That sounds like fun. Okay, first one down. There's going to be 9 inks in total. So, and the next one is Autumn Oak, because I realized actually I need a few like sort of yellow leaning ink for mixing, and Autumn Oak was sort of featured quite a few times. Oh, these bottles are really full. I mean, I really appreciate it, but can lead to accidents. Ooh. I wonder whether that's sort of the base color of the one of my favorites, the from the Shimmertastic line, the Caramel Sparkle. It has very similar, like the yellow is very similar. Yeah, I managed to smudge something, of course. Can't do it without. Like these little weird little flowers. I think I'm going to go across just to fill them up a bit better. Okay. And then the third diamine from the standard range is Celadon Cat, because this seems to me such a unique one that I really wanted to give this one a try. God, come on. And this is the first time I'm swatching them. And so I have seen them online, but I haven't actually seen them like with my own eyes. And this is, oh God, this is so pretty. I love this. And this is a Leuchtturm 1917 book, because I write my novels on Leuchtturm paper, and really wanted to swatch on a paper that was actually the one I'm using. And where I can see whether that's going to work. And yeah, Celadon Cats sometimes can look quite light. I really hope that it's, I mean, with a dip pen, it's never really like the true thing. But Celadon Cat has been on my list for a long time. Well, ever since I got into this whole thing. So yeah, I really wanted to give this one. Sorry, there's something. My phone went off and I had to attend to something. Okay. The next three ones are from the Diamine Inkvent series, and they're all from different ones. So far, I only have two of the black ones. Maybe start with the blue edition. And so I was in the market for a chocolate brown, and why not go with turbo chocolate? Brown inks, I think, will be where brown and probably sort of green leaning inks are where my collection is probably going to go. That's what I predict, to be honest. So yeah, why not go with the chocolatest of chocolatest? I don't know, is that a word? Probably not. But that's exactly what I was looking for. So it's like a warm brown, because the ones that I have so far, I mean, my favorite brown is still Urban Lidité, to be honest. It might be quite basic, but it just does everything that I want from a brown. And this is the Diamine Ink Bench. Does it actually say the year? It's just like, it's just the blue. And the other ones are either sort of orangey leaning or grey leaning, and I was missing a chocolatey one. This is triple chocolate. My flowers are not the prettiest ones, but they will do. Quickly. I love those big swatches. Yeah, they just look beautiful. So now I need to see that I can cram the other ones in. Okay, the next one is from the purple ink vent, is Cashmere Rose. And I specifically was sort of thinking about my theme for March. And what I realized is that I don't have a readable pink. The only pink that I have at the moment is another Urban ink Rue d'Encre, and it's a tiny bit too light for comfort. I've tried it, and it's pretty, but it does not really work. Like if I want to write my manuscript, it's just the tiniest bit too light. So I've looked more into the brownie pinks. And I mean, Rue d'Encre is a brown pink as well, but sort of a bit darker. And everything that I've seen from Cashmere Rose was that it is darker. So that's like, here's hoping. So, sorry, I have to, otherwise we're going to have a catastrophe. Purple. This is Cashmere Rose. I just do it like a little flower. I mean, so far, that seems to work really well. And then the next one is from the black ink vent, and that's the Wilted Rose, and that's probably going to be a bit more brown. At least that's what I'm speculating on. So I try to keep you in view. So actually I didn't, in the whole haul is one shimmer ink. I realized that shimmer inks are a tiny bit unpredictable for me. So I love them because they're beautiful, but I just need to be a bit careful. Obviously then, if the shimmers, for better was loose, you end up with them all over the pages, and that's not what I love. That's nice. This is why I wanted to put those two close together to, have a good idea to how they differ. So that's definitely going to be readable. And I feel like Rue d'Encre is somewhere between those two. How do I do this? Ugh. I have no idea when sort of the ink vent, like the big bottles, are released. There are a few ones of the teal edition that I'm interested in. I know the last time I looked, the Wilted Rose was not available, which is one of the reasons why I've added it to my cart now, because I'm very susceptible to, so, oh my god, it's out of stock. No! That's going to be my downfall. I can almost guarantee it. Okay, I think what I want to do is put the next one. So the next three ones are more outliers. The Rohan Klingner Cassia is because I'm in the market for a more, like, for another purple. And I think the Rohan Klingner inks are so much like good value for money. And I think I saw Simone really liking this one. So when she swatched it, I thought, this needs to go on the list. Oh my god. Don't know if the camera's picking that up. Can you pick up the sort of the inside of the bottle? That's amazing. Might be a bit much. Let's see. Might be ink catastrophe. Wow. Okay, yes. That was exactly what I wanted. Because one of the inks that I've been using the most is, let's see if I can get it, Urban's Poussière de Lune, or Moon Dust. And this is like way more red leaning. So I wanted to have something more like the punchy purple. But I didn't want something like dark lilac, which sheens all over the place. I like the base color of dark lilac, but I really don't like the sheen so much. But I think I'm going to have to, I don't know if I'm going to get the, I don't think I'm going to get the like the 2026 special ink from them. I love the idea of the sea buckthorn, because that's very much part of my sort of my childhood as well. Like going to the North Frisian Isles, because that's where lots of that is, and where you find like lots of specialties with sea buckthorn. And I really like the taste. I like jam. There's sort of and apparently it's very high in vitamin C, so it's apparently really good for you. But I just love how this looks. Okay, and now the true outliers of the whole thing. First, the only shimmer ink of the whole is Dominant Industry from the Pearl series, Autumn Forest. This has been on my list for a while. And I love how they come. They come in like a little baggie and with a pipette at the bottom. And this has a red shimmer. And I was just intrigued by a green with a red shimmer. Because it's very autumny. And I also love the bottles, to be honest. They just look great. Yeah. I had no idea that the opening was so narrow. That might be a bit. Just go here. It's also like a nice, as I said, sort of browns and greens, I think, are my comfort inks. This just is a lovely shade of green, first and foremost. I have learned, not quite the hard way, that sort of the swatches on the websites with the shimmer inks, actually you need to not be distracted by the shimmer. You need to love the base color, because that's what it's all about. Industry. Autumn forest. I can't see any shimmer yet. Might still come up later. But I already love the green, so that's obviously I'm getting cassia all over me. And now is the last one. Is an ink that I saw Karina Loves to Plan swatch it, and I was immediately, who? Okay. Because I've spoken before about my hesitation to buy red inks. The only red ink that I have is diamine writer's blood. And if you dilute writer's blood, it becomes this pink, or very close to this. So it's not actually, yeah. I mean, obviously very strongly diluted. But this is Dominant Industry Maple, because I'm hunting for a red that I like. Diamine writer's blood is okay because it's really dark. This, it's a standard ink. The bottle is really cool. Not just cool to look at, but cool to the touch as well. So I have high hopes for this one. This was sort of a, if I like this, it goes straight in a pen. Of all those here, this is the one. This is why I'm doing it last, to delay gratification, I suppose. But I already love the color in the cap. And it looks like, from everything I've seen, it looks like a lighter red. Not quite orange. Ooh, okay. But it definitely has sort of a, yeah, the autumnal. Where did I put the glass pen? Oh, okay. And it actually has the same, like the maple leaves. And I don't think I've seen that a lot around. And I find it funny because that was the one that really intrigued me. And it looks as if it's going to be, oh, wrong one, no, it's like this. Yeah, I thought it would be a bit darker, but let's see. I think I'm going to, the plan, well, like the half-baked, now I have like packages all over, for me was to put this in this Jinhao 10 caramel gradient. I mean, obviously it's not matchy-matchy, but I like the autumny vibe of this, although it's February. Never mind. I think I'm going to do this, especially as the converter in here is not big. So, yeah. But yeah, what do you think of my haul? I am quite astonished how much this looks. This is caramel sparkle, and this looks very much like this, just without the gold shimmer. I love the wilted rose. I hoped I would, because that's these two. I probably will do this pink, the cashmere rose, for March, but this one was the one that really spoke to me. Okay, we're going to let these dry, and then I'm going to get them a bit closer to the camera. Okay, we have a few damp splodges still, especially on the autumn oak, but I think we can sort of look at them anyway. The Earl Grey is just amazing. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted from it. Has some nice shading, but it's a grey. You know it's grey in the writing, but it's absolutely readable. The autumn oak, because I love the caramel sparkle so much anyway, is a winner. Absolutely. Celadon Cat, I really hope that it's, I mean, the chromo shading is amazing anyway. I really hope that I think I will have to put it in like a medium nib, but I'm absolutely prepared to do that. Can you see it? It's this amazingness. The triple chocolate is lovely, is nothing truly special, to be honest, but it's exactly the shade of brown that I want to have. Cashmere Rose, again, is exactly the shade of pink I wanted to have for the March lineup. The Wilted Rose is almost more up my personal, that's more my personal taste of these two. So you see, I'm really going for the more muted colors. The Cassia, can I do it like this, is just a punch in the face, and I love it for that, because that's exactly why I wanted it. I can always do like mute it down a bit, or dilute it a bit, to be honest. But yeah. And then the Autumn Forest. I love the red shimmer in there. It is an autumn forest, and I think it's also nice that it sits next to the maple. And the maple has some lovely shading too. And I decided to ink this up in the Jinhao. As I said, I wanted to try. I think I need to give it a bit more to set at the moment, because that's a fine nib. It's still a bit light, but it has, especially on the Leuchtturm paper, it has exactly the shade of red that I wanted to have. Yeah, just like muted, a bit desaturated, but you know it's red. It's not pink, it's red. Yeah. So far I think because I don't know if there's any, no, I don't really, there's no ink in this haul that I've bought on a whim. Everything has been on a list for a while and has been sort of well considered. Especially, I've looked at my inks that I have, and sort of, I think the only one that is not, I think the Autumn Forest I bought like more for the beauty, not for because I need another green, but I love this green because it's sort of more of a grayish green. And I don't have something like this as well. So that's so the reason why I picked it up was not very practical, but it turns out actually, yeah, it serves to fill a gap as well. So I'm over the moon with these. As always, I'm in the UK, and the Coal pens, like, they ship so fast. It's basically a couple of days, and I always love knowing that they will. And where I live, it's really hard to find, and I know because they ship with Royal Mail, they will find me. They will arrive safely. So I was absolutely chuffed to bits when this arrived at my door today. What do you think? Are some of these your favorite colors? Is there something that you sort of, based on what you see here, an ink that you would recommend to me? I know they're mostly diamines, but given the vast spectrum of colors they have, I think lots of people have a lot of diamines in their collection. But I don't want it to sprawl uncontrollably. I really want colors I love to write with, I love to use, especially see the shading here, so amazing. No, the maple has literally blown my socks off. This is amazing. Okay, before this goes any further, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. And yeah, it's raining outside, it's grey outside and horrible. I think the reason why I have another order coming, why I've submitted to buying inks, is because it's so grey outside and I want some colour in my life. I can't be the only one who really wants colour at this time. Okay, thank you so much, and see you soon.